Hello everyone and welcome to another LEGO City tour of Disney Down Under. I'm very happy to have you all join us today for a new video that I put up, focusing primarily on Disney Down Under, the Disney theme park that I've created. There will be other videos that will focus on the Ninjago city area that I've created and also Basilton. But this one will just take you through the thoughts that I had behind redesigning the theme park and the complete overhaul of the old Disneyland Under, which I thought had quite a bit of problems that I needed to fix and to address to make everything a bit more clear. I think my goals from previous iterations of the park is that it was too messy, and I tried to incorporate every Disney property that I could um, incorporate, whether they had official Lego products or not. I tried to mock my own. But what I'm trying to do now is to make it more clear and focused on certain themes and certain areas in Disneyland that I remember when I visited it, and things that are more popular now, and sort of things that I'm interested in as well, instead of having everything there and it being so messy that it takes focus away from what I'm trying to show, because it just looked too colorful and just too packed. So what I'm trying to do now is just to make it more clear, more spacious, and have more defined space between each theme land that work well with each other next to it, but also have a very strong contrast, so you know exactly where each um, line and each land ends and starts. So the main theme lands that I have are Main Street USA, Fantasyland, a land based on Frozen, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Galaxy's Edge. The first themed area that I'd like to take you all down is Main Street USA. This area I have made the most changes since the last video, trying to look at different pictures, videos, and walkthroughs on YouTube to design the different buildings based on Main Street in Disney World and Disneyland. It was very important for me to get the buildings right and that avenue towards the Disney Castle correct, as that's the most iconic part of a Disney park and the thing that draws you in. So you can see from an aerial view how everything works together with Main Street right at the center. Transitions between theme lands were quite an important thing for me that I needed to address this time around. So I've specifically picked which theme lands would fit in which location so that they don't clash with each other. The next land that I would like to take you through is Galaxy's Edge, based on Star Wars. This was a theme land that I was really most excited about doing. Now with more space, I really wanted that UCS Millennium Falcon to be the centerpiece of this land, just like how it is in Galaxy's Edge. And this was the land that I started out first. So this is why this land is probably one of the bigger ones, as I wanted to make sure that certain things fit in it and look the way that I wanted. You can see some of the figures and the dewback and a bit of the buildings that got knocked over when I was trying to crawl under the table to get certain parts that I dropped. But getting back to it, I've always imagined it as a cross between Tatooine and Batuu, because I wanted that connection that we all had with the original trilogy and prequel trilogy, and also based on something recognizable of what I was trying to replicate, that was Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. A lot of the facades and buildings that I've put on, and the foliage as well, are more placeholders while I try to make sure that I like how it all looks before I make it permanent. I just need to make sure that there are character moments, there are little Easter eggs, there are things that I put in there that people recognize, that I recognize, and things that I wanted in there. And once I'm happy with everything, I will make it more permanent, and then it'll be complete. I'm really excited that I managed to fit the UCS Millennium Falcon minifigure scale ship in there that gives it a bit more real life scale for the minifigures. It was really important that I had that there, and I'm so happy that I managed to fit that in. Next up is a themed area based on Pirates of the Caribbean, one of my most favorite rides at Disneyland. I tried to replicate that climactic battle with the Black Pearl and the fort, where the little ships that you were on just went through the battle and you just felt so immersed in it. I know that the ship is in the Black Pearl and I haven't put it onto the theme area yet because I found that while I was planning the areas, the sails of the Black Pearl kept blocking the Millennium Falcon. It kept blocking other areas, so I've got to put that in last. And once this whole area has been themed up properly, I tried to translate what was a dark ride into a more open space. And so I came up with an arena where people were watching the pirate battle unfold. And just when the show time's not in session, people can queue up and go onto the pirate ship, something reminiscent of the Mark Twain ship that you could ride on. And across the bay, I'm designing either a pirate town or New Orleans Square, something that transitions between Main Street and the Pirates of the Caribbean area. I just realized that looking at the video and doing the voiceover that there are quite a lot of things left for me to do. I always find myself excited when I start a new project, when I see something I need to do, and then skip from one to another. Next, we'll visit Arendelle and the area based on Frozen. So here I tried to transition between Main Street and Arendelle with a building that I designed that would fit on Main Street and Arendelle. I just had to finish off the other side of the facade. I purposely left all the Main Street buildings as facades because things that are on this side of Main Street will block it anyway and we won't get to appreciate the interior, so I didn't put too much parts and too much thought into it yet. Every themed area has a focus, and for this one it is the Elsa's Ice Palace. Around the back of the Ice Palace, we have sort of a walkway where people can walk up the stairs, walk around the mountain and up to the top. One of the things that I really like to do is to imagine how a minifigure would walk around a space and design spaces based on how they would move around. I plan to have more Winter Village sets to pad out the area and have it to look more like a village. We also get to see some of the buildings on Main Street, this one based on Penny Arcade, a bit more clear from this angle. Fantasyland and Cinderella's Castle is another area that I haven't yet fully fleshed out yet. One of the new things you'd see from this is that I've added a lot more foliage, a lot more trees, a lot more landscaping around the castle to make it stand out and to give it its own character and its own space. Early on, I had a lot of things around the castle which I have removed into the new philosophy of decluttering and to make things more clearer with the focus. Long-term plans is that I plan to close out the castle, make it look a bit more like the castle at Tokyo Disneyland and Disney World. And so that will be a project for later on as I'm focusing on things that can be seen from the front first before I move to finish up and close up things at the back. Originally, I envisioned Fantasyland to have small spaces based on each Disney princess, and that quickly looked crowded and quickly looked a bit disjointed and disconnected. So I've opted to put all the Disney princesses in mini doll form in front of the castle instead. And here you can see the blank canvas that I have trying to design something for Fantasyland. I've put so much focus and so much importance on this land that a lot of things that I've tried I wasn't happy with, so I will continue to try new things until I'm happy with something for Fantasyland that looks like what it is like in the park. And a sneak preview of what I have planned in the future is that I'll go through my Lego city that I've called Basilton, and I'll talk about the different streets based on the different seasons of the year. you very much for tuning into this video today. If you've liked what I have, please subscribe, make a comment if you have anything to say, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.